All right, now I'm making this video because I know there are a lot of people out there that are getting freaked out at the threats of a government shutdown. I myself have a son that's in the military, stationed out in Washington State. And even he said, hey, Dad, listen, I don't know if this shutdown's coming. If it does, I may need to borrow a few bucks. And I told him, I said, hey, listen, man, relax. I said, I know the media is spinning this thing, acting like, oh, Republicans want to shut down the government and it's Trump. But in this video, I'm going to give you some security to really know about. And then if you hear somebody else saying this, Republicans are trying to shut down the government and Trump, at least you'll know what's really going on factually, so you won't let the fear mongering get to you, because there's a deeper agenda. They got everybody freaked out about this thing for one reason. And I'm going to show, well, actually it's three reasons. And I'm going to show these reasons to you in the video, and it's going to blow your mind. So as you see right here, it says Democrats press on with shutdown threats. Even the media isn't buying their obstruction. Now, in this very first clip, I want you to listen, and you know I do not like showing clips of Hakeem the Dream Jeffries, Timo Obama, but I want you to listen to this short clip and listen to what it is he's spewing on CNN, and then I'm going to follow it up with what's really going on, and wait till you see the contrast, and you'll be able to decipher for yourself what's the real truth. It'll be obvious. So check this clip out right here.
Well, that's exactly the point, that Republicans are in the majority in the House and in the Senate, and Donald Trump is the president. If they decide to shut the government down, then the government is going to shut down. We believe we have a sense of responsibility in terms of trying to find a bipartisan path forward, which we've made clear to the White House and to our colleagues on the other side of the aisle in the House and in the Senate. But they've refused to have a conversation, and they've canceled votes on the eve of the government shutting down next Wednesday. We were scheduled to be in session on Monday and Tuesday. By the way, Democrats will be here in Washington, D.C. on Monday, ready to do our job. Unfortunately, House Republicans will be on vacation, scattered across the country and the world.
Now, let's talk about why Democrats are going to be in Washington and why they want to try to push this on to the Republicans, because Democrats know they're already sinking in the polls. Everybody looks at everything that they're doing negative. Political violence is blamed on them. And when the American people hear about what's really holding this up, it'll blow their mind. Now, I'm going to let Speaker Mike Johnson explain to you what's going on, okay? Then I'm going to follow it up and not only validate what he says, I'm going to show you a little bit of extra of what he says, because it's not all in this clip. And then I'm going to show you factual data to validate that the Democrats are lying. And again, when you hear what they're trying to do, it's going to make you pissed that this is even up for debate. And it's going to make you that much happier that you're not aligned with that side. Check this clip out.
So at this meeting tomorrow, is President Trump looking to make a deal, or is it going to be like when Michael Corleone met Senator Geary? My offer is this: nothing.
Well, we'll have to see, but I can tell you where his head and his heart are. He wants to do right by the people. He does not want the Democrats to hold up troops pay. You know, the people who are serving in the military, they don't get paid during the shutdown. He doesn't want WIC funding, you know, women, infants, and children nutrition program being held up. He doesn't want telehealth and mental health and FEMA services to be stopped. That's what Chuck Schumer is holding hostage. Why? So that he can add $1.5 trillion in new spending at a time when we're simply just trying to keep the government going for 7 weeks so we can have those debates. It's wrong. He also wants to, by the way, what Chuck Schumer is demanding in exchange for all those good things I just listed, he wants to reinstate free health care for illegal aliens paid by American taxpayers. We're not doing that. We can't do that. That's just one of the crazy things he's requesting.
Well, I think he would take issue with that. Here is.
So as you just heard, Chuck Schumer, he's holding the government up because what's been passed is what's called a clean CR. And a clean CR for the next 7 weeks means the government spending stays exactly like it is. Nothing changes. Nothing's added. Nothing's taken away. So any programs that were getting funded before will be funded again. And here's the kicker. Democrats have voted for every single CR for the last 20 years. Chuck Schumer and the Democrats did not object to one CR under the Biden administration. They never did 12 appropriations bills because Congress is supposed to do 12 individual appropriations bills every year. It never happens. And then at the end of the year, they cram all this stuff into what's called an omnibus bill. And in that omnibus bill, you get all of this fat that's in it and all of these NGO, non-governmental organizations that get this hundreds of millions and 50 million and all of this crap. And Mike Johnson has got the Congress working at appropriating the bills. But you heard him say Chuck Schumer wants 1.1 trillion and free health care for illegal immigrants. But that's not all. On this clip, when he's speaking on Fox News, listen to the rest of what Chuck Schumer wants.
He wants to add $500 million to prop up liberal media outlets. And he wants to add a massive $1.4 trillion spending hike to what should be a simple 7-week stopgap funding measure. We can't do that. We're not going to do it.
Yeah. So he wants 500 million to prop up NPR, PBS. He wants 1.1 trillion because they don't want this healthcare. And then they want illegal immigrants to get free healthcare. Now, here's the thing you heard Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrats keep talking about. They're saving healthcare. They're saving healthcare. Do you know who they're saving on healthcare? Because they keep saying Obamacare is going to expire. The Obamacare subsidies are going to expire. Let me show you something. So the next time you hear that, you know that it's BS propaganda. The Obamacare subsidies don't even expire until December the 31st of 2025. So it has nothing to do with this continuation CR. It has nothing to do with right now. That will be handled. Okay, that's number one. Number two, when they keep talking about the Obamacare subsidies running out and how millions of Americans are going to lose their health insurance and how premiums are going to skyrocket, they're 1000% correct. If you're enjoying this video, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up because I will never ask you for a cash app or a super chat. You hitting that like button, it really does help get the information out there. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. And whether you're subscribed now or subscribed already, make sure that you hit the notification bell and select all. That way, YouTube will make sure that you get notified when I upload new videos. But here's what they're not telling you is about who will see the 75% increase. Because what they want you and I to believe, those of us, I pay for my own insurance for my wife and we got PPO. Well, we can go outside of the Florida Blue network, in the network, if we want to. I wanted that freedom and flexibility. What Obamacare does, it isolates and restricts people just to the network. And I firmly believe they do not have the best care in those networks. And if you go outside the network, it doesn't cover hardly anything for you. So in essence, you're paying for an insurance policy that will not cover you if you have to go outside the network, where if you need anything major, you're going 9 times out of 10 have to go outside of the network. And so what they're not telling the American people is that it will be illegal immigrants and millions of people, able-bodied working people, because remember, retired seniors get coverage through Medicare. So who are the millions that are losing insurance? All of those people that aren't working jobs and they're able-bodied, all of those people that's sitting at home, eating off the government, they will lose it. And when they say that it's going to go up, it will. Because those people who have been able-bodied and able to work will now have to pay for their insurance like we do. So it's all a manipulation of words. They're telling the truth that millions will lose their health insurance. But it's millions of illegals and millions of able-bodied capable of working American people. And insurance premiums will skyrocket. But it will skyrocket on those who have been paying nothing, who now may have to pay their fair share and get themselves out there and contribute to the economy. But don't take my word for it. I want you to listen to actual people who have the Obamacare and fail for the promises. And let's not forget, let me show you this. Oh, let me get to it. So I apologize. Everybody, this is an American woman. I'll show you. Let me let her talk.
$3 a month for my health care off the marketplace, and I have a $9,600 deductible, no out-of-network coverage, a $50 copay in-network, no labs, no imaging.
I want you to understand the irony of this. This woman is at a No King's Day protest complaining about how she has an $800 a month premium, $9,600 deductible, no labs and no this, while protesting No King. So she herself is a leftist, and she's protesting the one individual that's trying to straighten it out, because the Democrats are great with massaging the words. They know their base is not going to go research. Now, this is just an everyday person. I want to show you this, and then I'm going to let you listen, see what a doctor had to say. Now, this says Obamacare subsidies cap enrollment payments, and taxpayers cover the rest. Almost all of Obamacare's large premium increases over time have been paid by our nation's taxpayers. And I want you to look at this. So as you see, from 2014, the orange is the enrollee. The blue is the government share. Now look at the increase as the years went on. Obama. They maintained. Government was increased in 18 and 19. You know why? Guess who took over Congress? Democrats. Then in 2021, under Biden, that light blue you see there, that's COVID credits. So that's more taxpayer money bumped in on top of the government share that was already being covered. And what the Democrats want to do, they want to keep those subsidies there, because you have to remember something. The Democrats have controlled Congress all the way up until 2022, which now we see the Democrats still control the Senate. Republicans took control of the House in 2022. but didn't have the Senate. And then in 2018, the Democrats had control of everything. And so Trump has never been able to implement his program to stop this Obamacare. And let's not get it twisted. Every single president has not liked, Biden didn't like Obamacare. Everybody sees it bleeds money out of the from the taxpayers, out of the budget. But this is what the Democrats are standing on. And as you can see, in 2026, they're expecting it to be even more. And you got all these able-bodied people. The Democrats want more subsidies while they're about to expire at the end of the year. Now, let's look at this doctor, because you might still be saying, well, Brian, I looked at that chart, and it says it is shameful. Obamacare made healthcare insurance unaffordable. Obama sold his failed Obamacare program by lying to us. It would save the average American family $2,000 a year, and it actually cost over $5,000 a year, doubling our healthcare and insurance costs. And let's talk about that for a minute, because there are a lot of people, a lot of seniors that are out here struggling right now to be able to deal with the questions they have on their Medicare plans. Some people are getting ready to start Medicare for the first time. Some people want to make sure that they got the best options available. And I came across a company, which is the sponsor of this video chapter. And I've said it millions of times that when my mom had to start looking for the best Medicare plans and she needed help, everybody was just trying to sell her stuff rather than help her. And she was frustrated. It seemed like the game was rigged and she was not supposed to win. But then when we discovered Chapter, one thing about Chapter is their agents give an unbiased perspective, and they're focused on helping each and every senior make the best decision possible with their Medicare. And one thing about it, it's a phone call, and when you agree, it's at least worth, even if you already have Medicare, it's at least worth making sure that you have everything you need and that you have the right plan. I highly encourage you to give Chapter a shot. They've saving seniors up to as much as $1,000 a year. And who couldn't use an extra $1,000 in this economy? So if you're looking for help with your Medicare plans, contact Chapter. You can call the telephone number on the screen or visit the website. Go to askchapter.org/realpolitics. If you call the number, tell them Brian Maxwell sent you, because they'll take care of you. So insurance is extremely important, regardless if you're young or if you are old. So let's look at what this doctor had to say in regards to it. Again, one of my biggest regrets was voting for President Obama in 2008 as a medical student and celebrating the passage of the ACA. Little did I know, and just so you see, this Dr. Dan Choi, MD, FAAOS. Little did I know the carnage it would wreak on the medical profession and my future patients. I had no idea then that the ACA was written to strip physicians of their autonomy, boost insurer profits, and drive healthcare consolidation. End result, 15 years later, is a more expensive healthcare system with less competition, resulting in lower quality, less efficient care for patients. Coverage is not care. And real Donald Trump has the opportunity of a lifetime to fix what President Obama broke. So don't let the Democrats gaslight you and make you believe that, oh my God, the Republicans are trying to shut the government down. No, they're not. There's a continuing resolution on the table that keeps government spending for the next 7 weeks to allow negotiations. Chuck Schumer wants a $1 trillion spending increase, $500 million for to prop up NPR and PBS, Democrat radicalized newspaper and publications, and then they want insurance for illegal immigrants. And you and I all know that that's a non-starter. We voted for President Trump to be against this, and luckily he is. So I just wanted to bring you the truth of what's going on, so you're not freaked out, you're not blaming Republicans and being pissed off at them. No, this is the Democrats using the mainstream media to manipulate the facts. Millions will lose health care because they're able-bodied or they're illegal immigrants. And insurance premiums will shoot up 75% because you got millions of people paying zero who will have to pay 75 cents or more. So it's not a lie, but they're manipulating it. They're just not telling you that. They're not telling you that Obamacare wrecked the healthcare system, and not everybody can afford to pay for PPO out-of-pocket insurance. A lot of employers aren't even providing it anymore. And so we got people barely scraping by, and they got to take extra money to pay exuberant prices for insurance. And it's like the good Dr. Choi said, coverage is not an insurance. You're covered, but if it doesn't satisfy what you need, it's pointless. And remember, Obama was even taxing people if you didn't have insurance. It was 1% of your annual income. This is nothing more than a socialist dream of an insurance plan. They want us to be like Europe, where it's universal health care, except for you got to wait 6 to 8 months to go to a doctor. So if you're sick and you're on the verge, and you might not have 6 to 8 months to wait, you might not have a year, but you don't have a choice when there's free health care for all. Because who's to say who's more important than who? And I'm sorry, but in a capitalist society, if you can afford it, you should get it. And then if there are people that need help, yeah, the seniors and the folks that may be handicapped. But able-bodied people, man, no, I don't believe in that. No, we all got to contribute to make the machine better. So I just wanted to bring you this. I hope it helps. I hope it relaxes you, gives you better understanding of what's going on. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment. Most importantly, I want to thank you from the top and bottom of my heart. Appreciate you for watching. If you've hung out to this point, if you haven't already, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Most importantly, I want you to stay safe and you be great. I'm Brian Maxwell saying I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out, y'all.